If you have a vacation home or a timeshare and you're wondering how it's going to be characterized or divided by a California court, I want you to know that, the court values and characterizes vacation homes and timeshares. I don't want to say all the time because timeshare is not really a court issue very often, but it has done it before. But more likely than not, we probably don't have to go to court. These issues are usually resolved by agreement in a negotiated settlement. If you think a super high conflict situation that you're not going to be able to resolve because you've tried on your own with your spouse and you're getting nowhere, I still strongly believe we'll be able to help you out with it and be able to settle it, especially if your spouse has an experienced family law attorney as a counsel. We can negotiate a deal through a private mediator, through a private judge, or even through the mandatory settlement conference that the court has. The court has a status conference and mandatory settlement conference in every family law case that forces you and your spouse to come to the table. And if there's an appraisal needed of your vacation home in order to determine what it's worth, in order to characterize what's the separate property and community property component. If we need help to determine what your parents' interest is or a family member interest, if they've also contributed to this vacation property, or if you have friends that are involved, fine. I think the real issue is to figure out the data, know the numbers. Once we know the numbers, we can figure out what your interest is. And once we have a value, we can bring that forward and negotiate a settlement. It's usually not worth it to litigate. We usually want to settle this outside of court so you can all move on with your lives. With timeshares, honestly, it's usually worth a lot less than you think. But we'll look and see what the fair market value is,